Hey guys, Rogue Reaper here. So, I've done this video so many times, I'm exhausted because my brain is going a million miles a second, and it's my ADHD and autistic brain. I'm just like, can't think right. There's distractions, there's noises, and da 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 da. Anyway, so long story short, me and my partner met on here 5.5 years ago. I moved out from California to Seattle to be with them. We got married 2 years ago. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but I'll tell you guys the surface of it and everything. So, um, over the course of the last, I'd say, 7 months, we haven't been intimate. We've been acting more like roommates, and we've just been not acting like a married couple. Um, and lately, I've been questioning: am I happy in this marriage? Or am I being weighed down trying to make a marriage work that isn't working? Uh, so I talked to my therapist about it. He asked if we would be okay spending a weekend apart. He stays at his parents', I stay here, or vice versa. So he took Friday afternoon to Sunday afternoon to be with his parents. I stayed here and did some thinking and worked on my music and played games, watched YouTube. I got to just relax and breathe and be and just be alone. Now, I say be alone because he works 5 to 6 days a week, 8 hours a day, but then he comes here and then he hangs out with me 7 days a week and just is in my space too. And we have a studio apartment right now, and so there's not much room to like separate from each other. Um, so it's been hard because he doesn't hang out with friends. He doesn't go out and socialize, and I have a lot of social anxiety. Okay, so it's not easy for me to go meet people, and we only have one car, um, and he needs it for work. Otherwise, I would be going out and at least going to the park or doing something, right? But I can't. Um, I don't do public transit because it gives me anxiety. I don't do it. I have to be the one driving. So I just stay home. I could walk, sure, but I also just I don't really want to walk anywhere. I feel better about driving. I also have, you know, other things going on, but I'm not going to get into that. So yeah, so he spent a weekend at his parents' house, and I was able to just think. So I think it was like late Friday night, early Saturday morning, 2:30. We were texting back and forth, and I told him something along the lines of, I feel like I'm better as a lone wolf. I don't feel like I can be married, especially right now. I'm only 26, and I'm too focused on trying to make a marriage happen, or trying to make a marriage work that isn't working, and it's weighing me down, and I'm stressed out. I mean, I'm anxious, I'm depressed. I don't do anything. Like, I know I'm supposed to be on YouTube and I'm supposed to be streaming on Twitch, but I'm so tired from stressing so much on making this work that I don't have energy left to go do my Twitch streaming and then putting it on YouTube, and I'm too exhausted. I'm tired, and I'm not happy. And I put on a mask and I tell everybody, like, I'm fine, we're fine, everything's fine, right? Everything's good. But all I'm doing is lying to myself, I'm lying to you, I'm lying to people, saying that I'm fine when I'm not. And it's not fair to you, and it's not fair to me. And he was like, well, do you want to be with me? And I was like, or he said something like, you don't want to be with me? And I said, I didn't say that. I think I know the answer, but it's late. I'm tired. I'm emotional. I don't want to answer with a definitive answer until I get some sleep and I'm thinking more clearly. And he was like, okay, that's fair. And I was like, I'm just letting you know what's going on in my head. You asked what was going in my head. I'm letting you in. And so I think it was like later that day or Sunday or something, and I told him, think I I think it's best that we split up, and I hope that you don't think that you did anything wrong because you did. This is on me. I feel like I'm just being. I have too much pressure on me. I'm stressed. You know all the details. And he said, I'm okay with this. He said, I am okay with this because we act like roommates anyway. We haven't been intimate in like 7 months. He said, all I ask is that I absolutely have you in my life. He said, regardless if we're friends or best friends or roommates. He said, but I need you in my life because you're really important to me still. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. We can be friends. We can be best friends. We can be roommates. I can't be intimate with you. And he was like, that's okay. He's like, I want you to be happy even if it's not with me. But I do need you in my life. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then, that was like February 16th or 15th, something like that. I'm not an asshole. Okay? I didn't break up, or I didn't tell him we need to split up on Valentine's Day. Okay? I'm not an asshole. I waited till after Valentine's Day. And then, that was a couple weeks ago or so, something. I don't know what today is. That was like 2 weeks ago, something. And then he texted me today and he was like, you're right. We work better as friends. We're able to just relax and hang out with each other, do our own thing without worrying if either one of us are okay in the relationship. We can just chill. We can be like, yo, what's up? We're more like bros. And I feel like our relationship is working better as friends than it was when we were intimate in a relationship. Now, off paper, we are single. On paper, it's a little bit different because you have to go through a court process. You have to file for divorce, and there's also it's expensive. I think. I don't know. I've never been divorced before, but he's encouraging me to make my dreams come true on YouTube and Twitch and on here, and he's going to be covering rent for me and everything I need until I'm where I need to be, and that means a lot to me. Yeah, it means a lot to me, and so because I'm also doing some side work as well, and I can't talk about that on here. But if you guys want to check out my Instagram, Trans King Rider, well, you'll see what I'm doing. But yeah, so long story short, we work better as friends, and it's been amazing to just have a friend instead of focusing on a marriage. And so it's been really healthy for us. We feel good. And here's the thing, too, before I go. If you guys are if you and somebody are married and it's working out for you and you guys are doing great, awesome. Keep it that way if you can. A little bit of advice: communication is key. It is going to be one of your best friends when you're married. And if you're not, and you guys feel like you're going separate ways, or you are going separate ways, if it's on good terms, stay friends. Stay friends. If you think you guys are going to be working better as friends. Sometimes it works for people, and sometimes it doesn't. For us, it works. We're going to be better off as friends, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so that's my life. That's my story. That's what's going on. I'll see you guys later. Deuces.